boys, we got to talk about Arsenal a little bit, who have had a mixed week. Obviously, you beat United.
Could have saw this coming.
About this time last week.
Could have saw this coming.
No, seriously.
No, bro.
This is a genuine issue we have to talk about.
With me?
Because every single time Arsenal
Right.
put in a slightly below par performance. Not even a bad performance. Slightly below par performance from what they were used to last season. Blake says, and I quote, "Guys, all of our teams have been playing shit this week. All of our teams are in the slums this week."
Okay, slums is crazy. But
I mean...
So, do you think... You can guess to me. We played 15 games. Arsenal's played 15 games. Guess how many times we dropped points already this season?
5 times.
7 times.
You said, man, all of our teams are shit.
Is that all comps?
We've dropped... No, in the Premier League.
Prem?
We've dropped points 7 times in the Premier League.
Okay.
Already. Okay?
Okay.
Now, if I take a quick little look-see at last season, which I would love to do, but I don't know how to do that right now. I think all of last season was like 9. All of last season, we dropped 9 points. If someone can fact check that for me. But I think it was something close to that.
Yep.
Okay.
Already 7 so far this season.
You're still third.
And Liverpool are going to win their next game against Fulham, who we just dropped points to. And then it's 9 points again. And we had a chance to close the gap even more, be on the same points as Chelsea, be a 4-point gap. Because it's also, like, football's such a mind game. 4 points back with a game in hand is a lot better than 6 with a game in hand. You understand? In Liverpool's perspective, points on the table are better than theoretical points that could happen. Someone, this team is just, I'm not...
On a scale of 1 to 10, on the panic meter, where are you right now?
I'm
with
not
Arsenal?
panicked. I'm just frustrated.
I was about to say.
Like, I'm not panicked.
Okay,
Like, I'm
so
not
you're
Arteta. The people who calling for Arteta out are fucking clueless.
I wouldn't say panic. Panic would be like you're fucking losing your mind because you're almost sure that the league is gone.
We're not going to win the league this season. I don't think we will. Like, now going into every game, like, I wasn't really frustrated. I was a little hungover. But I'm not really frustrated going into the Fulham game, watching that, because, like, it's kind of nice. I've taken a step back and just enjoyed the football. I mean, I didn't enjoy that game, per se, but I'm enjoying the football for what it is and not so much about winning. Because at this point, I don't think we're going to win the league, so there's no point in me getting super amped up about every win and loss, because we're not good enough this season. So, yeah. And people calling for Arteta out are fucking ridiculous. Because what is Arteta supposed to do when Martinelli's just casually offside for the game-winning goal that would have stood if he wasn't offside for no reason? What is Arteta supposed to do when our striker cannot score by himself? He needs to be force-fed the ball and a good chance to score. He'll put away goals more than the average striker, sure, if they're available to him. But he's not going to do anything like a Gyökeres, like an Isaac, like a Haaland, who can, like, you know, make something magical a little bit. What is he supposed to do with that? What is he supposed to do when people are calling for him to play a left back or a right back, Miles Lewis-Skelly, who's like 17, who has no Premier League experience, but they want him to play at right back or left back instead of Partey because they think it's a better fit, instead of the guy who's played like a million games for club and country. Yeah. What is he supposed to do? And people are calling him to go after everything that we've been through.
No, I agree.
Ridiculous.
I agree with you. But bro, you know how people in social media is it's the craziest take over the best take that goes the most viral. That's the world we live in it.
Fair.
Blake's a big beneficiary of that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Arsenal dropped points 10 times last year. Same amount as City. City just had more draws than losses. So
I'm telling you, you'll be fine.
Yeah, like we say this
not
every
saying
week.
you'll 100% win the league, but like
Then
you
that's
said,
not fine.
But this time last week, you were going, guys, Liverpool are going to drop points. Liverpool
did.
Liverpool are going to go on a skid, and they did, and they'll drop more. You know they'll drop more,
and we probably will too.
Well, who will drop more? That's the question, isn't it?
Probably us.
They have harder fixtures. All right, they'll be fine.
I mean, they're not showing any proof of playing bad against the tough fixtures. I remember we were looking at their upcoming schedule like a month ago when it was all the top teams, the Leverkusens, Madrid, and we were like, this is where Arne Slot really needs to prove himself.
That's true.
This is to see if Liverpool's a fraud team or not. And
that's true.
They've won almost every single game.
And they just tied.
They've been really impressive right now. But it is right now. It's like a small sample size, and we have to see how they are.
They just
over the
tied
next
to
few
Nuki,
months.
no?
Yeah.
In midweek.
They did.
Their last
A
taste
little bit unfortunate.
Their last
tape,
tape,
but
no, it
was a Kelleher mistake.
I'm not. No.
It was.
Do you know how many mistakes Liverpool have been gifted throughout this whole season so far? That whole game against who was it? No, not Everton. What was the game before the City game?
For Liverpool or for Arsenal?
For Liverpool.
Southampton.
Southampton gave them like 3 goals. We had that whole debate. So no, it wasn't lucky. It was them finally getting a little bit of, footballing aura that comes and goes. Anyway, back to Arsenal quickly. So the team news that came out of training today. Miles, you want to say it or you want me to say it?
Go for it.
So here's the people out for Arsenal
Okay.
today who were not training for the upcoming Champions League game. Thomas Partey, Gabriel, Jurrien Timber, Alexander Zinchenko, Benjamin White, Taki Tomiyasu, and Calafiori. So that's 7 potential defenders.
That's basically all our that's all our wing backs.
That's all our wingbacks. So again, not an excuse, but
Shouldn't
all these Liverpool people, we have injuries. Like, yeah, you have injuries. You
No
don't
one's
have a whole
complaining
block. I've seen Liverpool people online saying that.
I don't know about that.
Okay,
And
I've literally seen
remember
it, but okay.
last week.
Yeah, I said they have injuries too.
No, last week I brought up the Arne Slot quote on injuries.
Yeah, it's not an excuse, but I'm saying their injuries aren't 7 fucking block of players. Like, what would you rather have? A defender, a midfielder, a striker out, or just your whole potential back line out, or your whole set of fullbacks out?
But it is an excuse in a way then.
Sure. But it's still unfair. I mean, unlucky per se. But yeah, we should. I said this before. We should be good enough to do it no matter what. But we're not, because we're not good enough right now. And yeah,
You're really not.
Gabriel Martinelli. Wow. Yeah, I'm out on him. I'm out on Havertz too. Like, he's too like. I get he had a great start to the season, and I remember saying,
don't
I was
be
like,
out
do
on
we really
Havertz.
need a striker anymore?
I think in recent weeks you've kind of fallen into either relying on moments of brilliance from Bukayo Saka or set piece after set piece. And I think the corner FC narrative is a little bit stupid because you guys are fucking amazing at them, and I would play for corners too if I were you.
Thank you. We also don't do that. Like, we get corners, like, we don't try to get corners. You know what I mean? We still play the normal way, and we just get corners.
Fair.
But yeah.
But it's literally all I've been seeing is like moment of brilliance from Saka or Odegaard at times,
Yeah.
or amazing set piece.
Well, that's what it is, right? It's
like,
like
I feel like last year it was almost a more complete unit of a performance than I've seen this season at times from you
agreed.
guys.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's not. This team isn't the way what we expected them to be.
You've also just been so like bipolar in your performances, bro. Like, you'll be like, we came here last week like, oh my god, Arsenal are back. Blake was complaining too much. Blah 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 blah. You were overreacting. You guys are gonna go on a run now and fucking do it. The week before that, we were panicking. The week before that, you were good again. Who says that next week we won't come in here saying like, oh my goodness, Arsenal are back?
that's the
like,
problem.
They won both their games 6-0. Like, what were we
Exactly.
panicking about?
Oh, we have Everton. Oh no, we have Everton. Oh, at home.
Oh no, we have Everton, guys.
Guys, like, I'm not. I'm gonna be honest. I'm not confident at any game anymore. And call me stupid.
When have you been? When have you been? When have you
Call me
been?
dumb
You have
fan.
Monaco in Champions League at the midweek.
I think we'll win that game.
Thank you.
But
Okay. You
but
should.
We should.
You
We
should.
should win against Everton. we
Guys,
should win
That's
against.
what I'm saying.
Guys,
We should win against Everton. We should win against Palace in the EFL Cup. We
So
should win
if
against.
if you do win against Everton, Monaco, Palace, which team you play next, are you gonna come back here next week and be like, oh yeah, we're so back?
Okay, so first of all, I haven't said that.
No. To be fair to him, he's always negative about his team. Like,
No, but-
guys, Sporting is such a tough game.
That's-
You win 5-1. Guys, West Ham is such a losable
But-
game. They're up 5-2 at halftime.
5-2, and then what do you say?
Guys,
I fear we may be back.
I did say that.
You
I
did say that.
But
I
that
said
was
I
heat of the
fear.
moment, right? In the
I said I
results.
fear.
And then what'd you say about the United game? Guys, I got a weird feeling about this. And,
And we didn't play amazing. We played good, but we didn't play amazing.
You were by far the better team. By far the better
And
team.
then against Fulham, a bogey team who we've always struggled with, who we only got 1 point off of last year, fucked us over again. And I probably went in last week and said it's going to be tough. And it was tough.
It was tough.
Because Kivior can't defend consistently as Gabriel. You're saying that goal wasn't...
No, I didn't let.
I know,
Finish your statement.
Yeah,
That's fair.
Can't defend as consistently as Gabriel. We have Partey at fullback, and Bob's your uncle.
That was one. That was literally, they got so lucky. That was the only chance they had, and good for them. They took it and they scored. That's just unlucky.
Seems to me like we need to be better. Like, I'm not
Of
looking.
course, we need to be better, but that was just that was one moment of brilliance from one player, and it's just the way it goes. They took their chance, whereas we had so many chances and didn't take our chances.
Seems like a recurring theme in 7 of the 15 games we played so far. When all of last season we dropped points 5 times, along with City. City dropped points 10 times rather. So we're already more than 70% of the way through. Or I guess 70% of the way through. Our dropping points rate as of last year. Anyway, there's a lot
You
of
were
Arsenal.
much better in the second half of last season. You were.
Yeah, I don't know, guys. Like,
Lad, you'll be like, I look at the top 3 in the Premier League right now, and you are the team with the least amount of question marks. Because Liverpool, they've had injuries, but we don't know what will happen if they have like a core one. Plus,
A what?
like a core injury,
Okay.
like a one to like their spine that's like actually super important to the way that they play. Chelsea,
Trent is
we
an
don't
important
know. They both have new managers. It's the start of the season. We don't know how they're gonna be over the course of a 10-month Prem season. Arsenal are the most proven product out of the three teams there, in my opinion.
Yeah, but
And also with the December matches, it's proven, especially for Arsenal, but for pretty much every team, it really proves how good of a team you actually are once you make it to the midpoint in January after all those games, and if you can really be resilient and show that you can perform with all those games, and it just shows if you what your team is actually about. Because playing once a week is like, all right, cool, or playing twice a week against some bogey team in the middle of Europe, but when it really comes down to it after January 1st, I don't know. We'll see. I don't know.
I'm not convinced.
Just score from open play, innit?
Yeah. No, genuinely, yeah.
I know.
I'm not convinced. And
You so rage baited him with that.
no, he's right though. Like, he's right. We don't score from open. We haven't scored from open play in like 3
You
games.
didn't all last week, right?
So whatever. It's unfortunate because inevitably, if Arsenal don't win a title this season, a major title, like I don't care about an FA Cup. Like I do. I want us to win the EFL Cup. Want us to win the FA Cup. But like, I don't care. Like it doesn't change the narrative of Arteta. Like and this team. Like yeah, it's good, but they won an FA Cup last year. United did, and does that really change your opinion on the team as a whole? No.
No.
Exactly.
didn't.
So inevitably, when we do lose, if we do lose both titles, then everyone calls for Arteta out, and I don't think it'll happen, but it's even more pressure on next year. And if we don't win a title this year, it is a bit of a failure, because what else are we doing for? What else are we doing and stuff? We're not, like... Anyway.
You
I
said
think
this, you said
go
this was
for it.
stupid, but at what point does Arteta
No.
comes and gets brought up in the conversation?
That is fair.
It's fair,
That is
but...
fair. Bro,
At
if
what
you guys
point?
bring in Dan Ashworth and he's still obsessed with Southgate and all the other English managers, yo,
But at what point?
I'd be worried.
Yeah, it's bad.
I'd be worried.
Because no title this year, you'll be frustrated. Then the ambitions you guys should have is to win the title.
Yeah, I think mostly if you fail this season, the thing you should look back on the most and regret is your transfer window.
Absolutely.
I think last summer you guys underwhelmed
Raheem Sterling.
drastically. I know.
Fair
like,
enough.
yeah, absolutely.
Did you guys get a replacement for Edu yet?
No.
No.
That's why we're looking at
And
Dan Ashworth.
Apparently United we're looking at Luis Campos.
Really, Arsenal were looking at Luis Campbell.
I think I saw that too,
Yeah.
yeah. Either way, I'll just finish off by saying I don't think Arteta should be under any scrutiny right now. He did fast track a whole rebuild. So I think that his window of opportunity and his window of leniency should be higher,
Absolutely.
just off of that notion alone. But we got to win something soon. So,
What are you saying? 2 years before he says Arteta out?
well, if we don't win in 2 years
Yeah.
or 3 years, that's a long time.
It's weird to judge it because he's brought you so far. It's like, has he hit a plateau? Or
No.
well, that's the question.
But it's-
Because if he doesn't win that title,
Yeah.
can you find a better manager that would bring you over that?
But here's the thing: a better manager isn't making Martinelli not be offside. A better manager isn't making Havertz a different player.
That's what I was saying, bro.
You guys are right about Martinelli. You guys are right. But
Of course we
Trossard isn't running at the same clip as he is last season.
Mm-hmm.
Neither is Martinelli. Havertz has cooled off. Saka is still Saka, but sure. But that's like 3 of the 4 attackers just aren't doing the same thing that they were doing last year. So
No, yeah, there's a concern in depth in the attacking sector.
Just score, innit?
100%, which comes back to Julian's point with the transfer window. I mean, you look at your attacking players. You have Havertz,
Should've got
fair
that
enough.
9.
Gabriel Jesus is his backup, which I know Arsenal fans aren't.
he hasn't scored in the Prem in like 7 months.
Then you have Trossard declining, Martinelli on the decline since a while now. Then Sterling, who hasn't really shown anything this season so far. So you only really have Saka that you can truly rely on if you don't count Odegaard as a.
What a weird signing that. Sterling.
It was a bit of a
Forgot
panic
that
one.
happened.
Bit of a panic one. But this is what I'm saying.
Classic
Like, you want
transfer window.
Arteta is under scrutiny, but he has no fullbacks to play right now. One. Like, actually, I genuinely don't know who's playing fullback on either
We
side.
don't have any because if you're in Timber was not.
He's on that
was
list.
not
Yeah,
seen
I don't know
picture.
who. I don't know. I don't know. So that notion, and then we have no attackers that are playing well. How is that his fault that he expected like 3 attackers to just fall off a cliff?
There needs to be some movement in the January transfer window, I think.
But we should do some movement in this podcast too. Let's move on.
I agree.